Hello, hello, and welcome back to A Cup of Meg and Joe with me, your host, Meg and Joe. I'm back. Oh my god. It's been it's been it's been a hell of a time. It's been a very long time, might I say. It's been last time that we spoke and hung out and chit-chatted was, I believe, May 29th, 2023 was the last time I uploaded anything at all to the pod. So, hello, we're back. Oh my god, I'm so excited to sit here and to do this. You don't understand the amount of joy I'm feeling in my body right now, but I will more on that. I will tell you all about it. So anyway, what is up? How are you? I hope you are all doing well. I hope you're doing well. Happy freaking New Year. Happy 2024. Jeez, it's literally a whole new year since we last spoke. And if you're watching this on the video version, yes, I still have my Christmas tree up, and it is January. On the day that you're watching this, it'll be January 29th. So yeah, I'm taking it down. I should be taking it down this weekend, though. This weekend before you're watching this, it'll probably be down. But I love a good Christmas tree. But anyway, sorry, my brain, just letting you know, it's everywhere right now. So just beware. Welcome to the chaos of my mind. Whoa, title for an album. Okay, where are we going? We're getting sidetracked. So it's been a while. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. And a whole lot of new. I have to tell you a whole lot of new things that have been happening, what I've been up to, why I haven't been posting anything. And yeah. So stay tuned. Oh my God. How could I forget? I was so excited to sit here that I didn't even grab my drink. It's okay. It's right on the table. Let me go grab it. Okay. All right. We got our drink. It's probably a little warm now because I took some time to set up and everything. All right. Oh my God. I don't even know how to do my intro anymore. So let's rewind a little and stay tuned if you want to catch up and just chat, just hang for a little. I won't take up too much of your time, but I want to have some fun and talk and chat. And the tradition of this all is to bring a cup of your favorite beverage and sit along and sip with me. And today I have a new mug that I got from Target for like $4, and it's freaking so cute. Look at this. All right, so for today's beverage, we have matcha. Matcha has been my new love. I think about 3 months ago, maybe October of 2023, I have decided that it was time for me to cut down on my cup of joe. I was just experiencing so many things in my body that I didn't like the feeling of, I didn't enjoy, and it wasn't right away that I was like, no, let me stop. I've been working at a cafe, which means that I can make any kind of drink I want all the time, right? So while I started working there back in July, I started drinking lattes more often. Oh my God. When I tell you, I just learned what lattes were when I started drinking them more regularly. It's actually like pretty crazy. I started drinking lattes, and then I was like, oh my God, this is making me feel crazy. I always thought that lattes were just milk and coffee, like a dummy. And I wouldn't get them on a regular, like prior to me working at this cafe. I would get them on once in a blue moon, iced lavender latte with oat milk. That was my shit when I was living in Brooklyn. And it still is. I just haven't had it in a while. But so where am I getting to? I'm getting to the point, trust me. So when I started working here at this place, I started getting lattes more frequently, and then I started noticing that I was getting heart palpitations and chest pains, and I was like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's happening to me? Am I dying? What's going on? And at first I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna still roll on my day, still get it. I know that I love caffeine. I know that I need the caffeine, and that's what my brain was saying to me. Until finally, like, the pain was just becoming too much, and I was like, okay, I need to make a change because I don't like the way this feels. I don't like the way my body feels. I don't like the way my brain feels. And I think it was because I was having one like every day, as opposed to just having one, I don't know, once a week. All that to say, I have changed my drink of choice in the morning. I have changed my morning beverage. And I have done this a while ago, but I think right now, this is the longest that I've kept it up, and I really, really am sincere to it. And oh my God, I'm sweating because I'm talking so much. So now my drink is matcha, and I've always loved matcha. I've always had like a nice feeling when I drink matcha, and I always knew that, and I always wanted to get back to it, but I just never did it. And then this was finally my trigger to be like, all right, girl, you need to change your drink, and it's gonna be matcha because you know what it does for you, and it's so good. So my new drink is matcha. So long story that led to cheers, because I'm drinking matcha, and I hope you're drinking your favorite beverage right now too. I'm gonna take a sip. I want to give you some ASMR. I want to heat that up, but I don't want to walk away. So we're just gonna drink that right now. It's kind of warm. All right. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. I gotta open up my ideas. So let's start from the very beginning. So I have been MIA on social media, on literally everything you can name, for the past 6-7 months. That is because my whole life has changed within the past 6-7 months. And boy, oh boy, there's so much to tell you about everything that has happened. And I will try to make this the more concise version of everything that's been happening. But there is a lot of detail that I do want to give you too. So first things first, I have moved. And I think that was the last thing in the last episode that I said, that I was moving. We got an apartment, and oh my God. And we're here. We're in a new apartment. I know it's the same couch, but it's a totally different place. We're in a whole new state. We're in a whole new freaking apartment. And it is just my partner and I, my Liam and I. And I love our apartment so much. It's not even funny. Like, it's my safe space. It's my sanctuary, and it has become my favorite place to be. And I feel like for the past 3 years, I've moved a lot, and I wasn't able to keep something good. And I mean, I know I've only been here for 7 months, but the plan is to stay here for a pretty long time. And now is the time when like now I know that I'm going to be here for a while. So that feeling is also setting in really well with me. And it makes me feel like this is like really my home. Does that make sense? Because everywhere I've moved for the past like 3 years, I knew that that was temporary, because I knew that there was always something else happening, and there was something else I wanted to do. And now my whole life is here right now. Like, everything that I'm doing for myself and all the things that I have right now are here, and this is where I'm staying, and this is where it all is. And that's something totally new for me. So that's exciting. And yeah, so we're in a new place, we're in a new year, we're in a new age. I am now 29. I turned 29 November 15th. So this year I'll be 30. We're not going to talk about that yet, because we're not even close to that yet. But this is the year. This is the last year of my 20s. And I honestly, I don't even care if this sounds like I'm going to jinx it, but I'm going to say it anyway, because we're all about making shit happen. And I think that I don't know. I have a feeling that this is going to be a really great year. Listen, last year, the start of last year, January 2023, your girl did not have the best start of the year at all. I started it with COVID. And then for those 6 months, I think I said this on here before, in those first like 5-6 months of 2023, I was sick every month. COVID, strep, a cold, strep, a cold, something was always happening to me. So yeah, the first half of 2023 just wasn't my time, and I was like, okay, well, like something's gotta get better. And it did get better because we moved and everything happened. And I think the past 6-7 months was me finally coming into my own and finally living the life that I was looking forward to for such a long time that I didn't even know was possible because of all the crazy shit that I was going through. So, yeah, we're here now. And I'm having a pretty great start to the year so far. And I 100% believe that it is because of everything that I am doing to make it good. And because of everything that has led to this and this moment and me being back here and even filming this, like this all happened because of everything that's been going on. Oh my God, I feel like I'm not making any sense, but trust me, it'll make sense. So let's go to the idea book, shall we? If you're watching the video version of this, I want to show you what this looks like. And this is how all the stuff in my brain just comes out. And I scripted this past weekend at a coffee shop with Liam, and we were just both like scripting ideas for both of our content. And I was like trying to type it out, like type out bullet points like I usually have done, but it just wasn't sitting right with me. I was like, I don't want to like type things right now. I need something like tactile, and I need to like do something. I need to do something with my hands. So I took my iPad, and well, I was using my iPad, but I was using it with my keyboard. But so I just opened my Good Notes app, and then I just did this little cute little thing just to explain it to you for the people who are not watching. It's literally just a picture of the cover art of my podcast, and then it's like words all around, just like ideas of things, because that's how I feel. My brain feels like it's been spewing out ideas, not to be gross, but like to give you a visual, an accurate visualization of how I feel like my brain feels right now. I feel like my brain is taking a creative shit. No, seriously. I feel like you know when you just, we're always going back to shit, aren't we? Like, you know, when you let out a really good poop, you know what I mean? And that's what my brain feels like right now. Like I'm letting out the creative poop that has been sitting in there for a while. Let me not use poop as an example, but like, doesn't that make sense? Do you know what I mean? I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that can give you a great visual of what's going on in my brain. Literally like pew, pew, pew. That's what my brain feels like right now. It's like spewing out ideas. So anyway, let's get to the ideas, shall we? Also, check out this mic. I feel like a super podcaster. Oh, excuse me. If I did that into the mic, I think it would have been way worse. Anyway, so we moved, and that's where we're at right now. And starting off the year right. So let me backtrack a little bit, and I will end with where I'm at right now. But where I've been the past 6-7 months was honestly getting my life together and kind of just like living it to the point where I didn't really have time for anything else. I was fully zoned in the books. As you know, I got into school this past May, right? That's when I got into school. I started school at the end of August, and I was in my fall semester from August to December. And it was so crazy, to say the least. Going back to school at 28 years old is such a trip because like I started college 10 years ago, okay? And now, like, I see all these college kids, like, roaming around and freshmen and everything. Orientation was crazy because, you know, you just, like, get to meet people and you're talking about them. And they're like, oh, my God, where'd you go to high school? And I'm like, I actually have been out of high school for the past 12 years. But anyway, if you're new here, I'm going to school for music therapy, and it has been a wonderful experience. As much as I have been really stressed the past semester, just like with so many things to do and me not being used to that for so long, and finally getting back into the groove of like doing homework, doing papers, doing research, all of those things that have to do with college. It was just such a crazy trip to be in that again. And to be in it at this age is such a different thing, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I'm taking it in a new way because of my age and because of where I'm at, because of where my mental's at. And it's different when you're 18 and you're just starting school and you're like, oh my God, that's so crazy. But in a way, I did kind of feel like that, but I did feel more like I had my head on my shoulders better than I did when I first started college. Anyway, the music therapy program, oh, hold on, I have to fix my position. The music therapy program has been really great and really awesome, and so many words to explain how cool it is. And it's crazy that it's even a thing, right? Like, some people don't know what music therapy is. To give you the gist, music therapy, because that question goes so, like, there are so many answers to that, because it is a whole entire vast of things. Does that make sense? Whole entire vast? I don't know. It's a whole entire thing. To give you the rundown of what it is for just like a small description, it is the power of healing through the power of music intertwined in one. And that can go in so many different directions. You can work with kids, you can work with adults, you can work with 90-year-olds, you can work with little babies. Like, you can work with anyone and anybody who is experiencing anything in their lives, really, to just, yeah, you can, it's so just, sorry, now I'm going, and now, like, I want to, like, word vomit so many words, and I'm trying to, like, stop myself because I don't want to go too crazy, but I'm like, just know that it's so freaking cool. Music therapy is so cool, and I think that it's superior in a lot of ways. I'm just really excited and passionate about this because music therapy is a true gift to the world. And I don't know how I went so long of my life without being in it, like being in school for it, because I was in school for speech therapy, which is also very related, but in a different way. So all that to say, music therapy is wonderful. If you want to look into it, you definitely should. If you're a lover of music and you're a lover of helping people, or you want to just learn more about helping yourself and all those things, we all know what music does to us, right? We all love music, generally. I would hope so. We all love music. We all have our favorite songs. We all have everything. We're all connected to music in one way or another. Our favorite song from our childhood, or our favorite song from our college years, like something like that. And all of those songs that you listen to on a daily, you know how they make you feel at the end of the day. And you listen to those songs, you choose what specific song you want to listen to for a reason, right? Whatever it may be. And that is just like the simple way of me trying to say that music is so powerful, and we experience it, all of us, in our daily lives on an everyday basis. But using it in a therapeutic way is something that I think should be brought to light in so many other ways, because a lot of people don't know what it is. And I'm here to tell you, it's freaking amazing, and it has shed this light on me that I don't know, like, I'm in awe of music. I've always been in awe of music, but I'm in more awe of it now, because I'm seeing it in the healing aspect of it, through mental health, through disabilities, through dementia, through all of those through preemie babies. I was a preemie baby, and watching those videos that I was watching about music therapy with preemie babies was just so, it touched me in a way, because I'm a preemie baby, and just seeing how that was helping the preemie. I'm not even giving you any context, but all in all, let me not get too carried away with this, because I will make this whole episode about music therapy. But that is the program that I'm in, and that is how I feel about it. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful time. And that sounds kind of crazy, right? Because I just feel like I was never this excited about school before. And right now I am so excited about school. And I was taking about 9 classes last semester. I didn't really have time for anything else but school, work, work. And that's really it. And it took up a lot of my time, but I learned so much. And I'm here to report that I finished the semester off with a 3.8 GPA, which is wild. Wow, I don't think I've ever in my life gotten 3.8 GPA. I think the highest I've gotten was like a 3.4, or honestly, it might have been a 3.7, because there was one semester in my prior college that I did really well on. But anyway, yeah, it was fun. I was also in a band. I met cool people. I met new friends. I have friends. Oh my God. Making friends in college is so intimidating, but it's also so much fun, because you're just like, hey, what's up? What's your major? Blah, blah, blah. And it's cool. But the thing is, I'm fully in just like the music school, because that's where our music therapy program lives. And so I'm never in any other building. So the only people that I do see on a daily basis are people in the music school. That can be music performance, music education, music therapy, music ed. Did I say that already? And you just see music in like all these different ways. Like music is it's just so wild. And I think when I was in college before, I never thought to join anything in music, because I was already doing music in my life outside of school, and I didn't think to put it in school, if that makes sense. And now experiencing all of this is crazy. Music school, let me tell you, is so intimidating. I've gotten a load of like imposter syndrome, because at first you're like, oh my God, all these people are so talented. I am not enough. I am not talented. I don't know how to do that. And you just think about so many things, and you just like in turn make yourself feel like shit. That's what imposter syndrome is, right? And I went through a lot of that last semester, and it was kind of hard to get out of that. But I think with the support that I had, and with the classes that I had, especially music therapy, I did a lot of healing myself in my classes, because we did a lot of hands-on experiences. We did a lot of just like practicing what it was like to be on the end of music therapy and be the client, while we also practiced being the therapist. And there were so many things. And I also have like a hands-on experience working with clients right now at my practicum, which basically means like practicing. So, I'm practicing to be a music therapist already, and it's just so cool that I'm already having all of these hands-on experiences when I just started the program. It's wild, but I also think that's because I'm doing my second bachelor's, which is kind of basically a grad student already. So I don't have like any gen eds or anything. So that's cool. I don't do any of that, but all the music classes is what I'm in right now, and then music therapy classes. And yeah, it's just been I'm just going off on a tangent. It's been really, 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 really great. And I say that now, being on the other side of last semester, because I had my winter break, and I was able to, like, as my wonderful friend Brittany says, she said this to me last night, I was able to zoom out of my life during the winter break that I had from school, which was like 4 weeks, from December 15th through January 15th. So it was basically a month where I was able to just like zoom out of everything, kind of like see everything on the other side, and like not deep while I'm not deep in the schoolwork. Because let me tell you, when I was deep in the schoolwork, I was so stressed. And I felt like I was like burning out. But I think I was able to hold myself above water pretty well, surprisingly. And hold on, I gotta take a second. My brain is running a mile a minute. My brain is running so fast right now, and I just gotta slow down. Okay, so we touched up on school. Now you know what program I'm in if you didn't know already. And if you want to learn more about music therapy, I highly recommend, even if you don't want to go into the program. Like, I'm not telling you to go back to school. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure you know what speech therapy is. I'm sure you know what occupational therapy is. I'm sure you know what physical therapy is. But do you know what music therapy is? Everyone I've told has no idea like what that is. They're like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, honestly, me neither, until about a few years ago. So, yeah, it's really amazing and an incredible work that music therapists do. And I can't wait to be one. And just learning how to be a therapist in general is really something so powerful. And it's something that I think you need to be really prepared for when you go into it, because you learn so much about yourself in the making of it, in the works of it, because you're doing work for yourself in order to be there for the support of someone else. And my professor explains music therapy. One of my professors explains music therapy in a really beautiful way, where she says that for music therapy, like, it's therapy, right? It's therapy, and music is your co-therapist. And I don't know. I love that. I love the way that's explained, and like you can visualize that, or you can interpret that in your own way. But I just love that meaning of it. Music is your co-therapist, and like you're the therapist, and music, like, cause oh my God, okay, you get it. So I have friends in school, and it's really nice, and we're all in the same program, so that makes it even more fun. I feel like I did not have any friends when I was going to Brooklyn College. I had one, and I had people that I knew, but like I wasn't like mingling with people in the hallway all the time. I wasn't like catching up with my friends, or like really excited to see everyone after winter break. The fact that I experienced that last week, seeing my friends in the hallway and just be like, hey, oh my God, how are you? And it was so exciting and so sweet and so genuine and so not what I am used to experiencing when I was in college. Like, I don't think I was that social in college. I don't think I was like fully out of my shell yet. And I think, 10 years later, you would hope I'm out of my shell, right? And I am. And it's fun. And I felt like a little social butterfly. And it's been a really fun experience. I feel like I was really scared to make friends in the beginning, and I was really shy, and I was like, oh my God, who am I going to talk to? But it just happens naturally. And I think that being friends with the people in your program is also so much fun, because you guys are literally doing the same thing and working towards the same thing, and you can help each other in your career, in school, in everything. And it's really nice to have that support. And I love all the people I've met. I love all my professors. It's honestly been such a 10 out of 10 experience. That sounds so cringy. That kind of sounds so cheesy, right? But like, it's true. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and be like, and tell you it was, if it wasn't. And it was truly a grand old time. And now we have entered our second semester, as I mentioned, and I'm in my second week of school right now. Yeah, I'm in my second week of school right now. First official full week, because last week we didn't have a full week. And I have met like all my professors already. I have been in all my classes already. And I can definitely say I'm so excited for this semester, because it's like, you're in a level above what you were doing last semester. And I think that is just exciting within itself. And just like having more experience in the field and in the classes. And it's just It's so cool. I literally I said this to one of my one of my advisors before I got into school. One of the words I used to describe music therapy was cool to him when we were on our meeting, and I was like talking about music therapy and how I found it and my love for it and everything, and I was just like, music therapy is just so cool. And I laughed at myself, and he laughed too, and so did the other advisor. They are both incredible music therapists also, but I was like, music therapy is so cool, and I was like, sorry, I was like, for lack of a better word, and they were like, no, you're right, music therapy is cool, like that's really what it is, it's cool. And so that kind of became a running joke for a while. So I literally, like, if they allow me to say music therapy is cool, then I can definitely tell you music therapy is cool, because it is. It is. And to feel this like immense feeling for it is really fun, and it does something to your soul, let me tell ya. Okay. So, oh my God, my legs are hurting because I'm like sitting in so many different positions. What is next that I would like to talk about? Okay. So, I know I just talked so much about school. Isn't that so funny? Oh my God, who would have thought I'd be talking about school? But school, just to end that off, I mean, there's so many reasons why I'm talking about school in the first place, because I'm in it right now, and because it has so much to do with what I'm feeling and who I am right now, and it's like my truest form right now. So school just has been really great, and I fully feel like it has, weirdly enough, been good for my mental health, and I will explain why. I fully believe that it's really been great for my mental health, which is so weird to say because like school is so stressful, but I say that because I feel like this has been such an, like, I've been honoring the parts of my brain that have been wanting to learn more about music therapy specifically. And I feel like because that was such a dream of mine for the past, I don't know, 2-3 years now, I feel like my brain is so excited to be here. And like, I know that I want to be here. It's not some like random major that I just randomly decided that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it because fuck it, whatever. You know, like it's something that it's a place where I really want to be. And I think that makes it that much more fun and that much more motivating to go to. Like, I want to go to all of my classes. I want to sit there. I want to learn. I want to do my homework. Whereas in college before, I mean, like when I was in my speech therapy program, I was also feeling the same way in that time, and that was such a different time in my life. But like in gen eds and regular stuff like that in your first few college years, like I was like, I don't really want to do this. I want to cut class. I want to sleep. Like, you know, who wants to do that stuff when you don't really want to be there? What I'm trying to say is I really want to be here, and that's why I feel like my brain is just like having fun. It's just having fun. It's stressed. I've been stressed, like I said, but I'm having fun overall, and I'm just really happy. And I think another thing that contributes to my mental state right now and me being happy and feeling all of these like crazy feelings in my body, I feel like my brain is literally waking up in a whole new area. This is the most stability I've had in the past like 2-ish, 3 years maybe. Actually, yeah, maybe in the past like 3 years. And that is because in the past 3 years, as I mentioned before, I have moved so many times in the past 3 years. Specifically, last year was probably one of the most unstable years of my life. So October 2022 to June 2023 is 9 months. That is how long I was living in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia did a number on me. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, and if I did, I'm sorry if I'm repeating it again, but you need to know this in order to understand what I'm about to say. So in the 9 months that I was living in Philly, I was experiencing so much different shit. I mean, as I said earlier, I was sick for the first few months of 2023, which was already a grand old time. And I couldn't, because I was sick, it like and when I was sick, it messed me up really bad. Okay. Like I had COVID. It messed up my ribs. I think I mentioned this before, and I had to be out of work for like 8 weeks until I was fully recovered. I couldn't do anything physical, all of those things. And being sick for a long time and getting sick the way I got sick makes you not be able to work, makes you have to find another job. When I tell you that this was the most unstable 9 months of my life, it really was, because I had four or five different jobs when I was living in Philly. In the span of 9 months, your girl had 4 or 5 different jobs. Okay, that's like literally half the time that I was there. And it's so funny looking back on it now, but like, dude, I was so depressed in Philly. And so there were points where like I got better. And when I was making this podcast initially, that was when I was like finally coming out of my depression hole and feeling like I could be a human being again. But then I went through so many different changes in so short of a time that it was way too much for me. And it just made me feel like a complete mess, because it's just all over the place. I couldn't keep one thing. I couldn't keep a job because I was just always sick. I couldn't keep another job because I was sick again. I couldn't keep another job because that job sucked, and all these things. And then something went, it was so much, to the point where I was like, what the hell am I doing? And it was also crazy because I knew that I wasn't staying in Philly. So I knew that all of this was temporary. So I'm trying to tell myself, this is temporary, this is temporary, this is temporary. You're going to get out of this. Just do this for now. And that is what I did the last, I want to say 2 months of me being there. The last 2 months of me being there, I actually had a job that I really, really loved and I enjoyed going to, and I was able to keep. And I was actually really sad that I was only working there for a month, because this is the one that I actually really loved. And I had to leave because I got into school. So yeah, Philly was just an unstable point of my life. And hey man, we experienced that so that we can feel all the greater things on the other side of that, right? But it's so hard when you're in it. So I say all of that because now, currently in this time of my life, I have been in the most, I've been feeling the most stability and consistency that I've felt even in the past 3 years, I want to say. And that's because it's in every aspect of my life. So I'm going to school all the time, every day, doing it all the time, right? I am also working. I'm working, and I've been at the same job ever since I moved here. I think I started working there the same week that I moved here, because I needed a job right away, right? And that was also so daunting, moving here and being like, oh my God, here we go again, need to find another job. Once I got it though, and once I finally found my footing and got back on my groove, I was like, okay, this is cool. And we're keeping it, and it's been really great. I freaking love working there. And I not only work there, I have 2 other jobs. So the stability and consistency is in every part of my life. School is consistent, work is consistent. And everything that I'm doing right now in my mornings is consistent. I will get to that in a little bit. But I think that feeling of having things constant in your life and a normal schedule, and just feeling like things are on the groove, and you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. You're not in you're not in a limbo period, and that's where I was for the longest time ever. Even when I was living in Brooklyn, yeah, Philly was the craziest limbo ever. But even when I was living in Brooklyn, there were so many hurdles that I had to go through. But I think Philly was the craziest of them all. I love my people in Philly. I love them so much, and I miss them every single day. But Philly just wasn't good for me. And I'm so much happier where I am now. And oh man, it's really been a time. And now we're 7-8 months into living here. It has already been freaking 1,000 times better than when I was living in Philly. And I think in regards to my mental state and everything, like it, and like just, I think everything else has been way better than that. And it's because of the consistency, stability, happiness, and like my feeling of purpose here is here, right? I didn't have purpose in Philly. I did, but like it was very small. It was all in doses because I was in and out of jobs. I was doing this and that. And like I was just always like, I was always falling to the ground with every freaking sickness that I had. And here, where I am now, I have actual purpose to be here. I'm here because I'm in school. I'm here because I'm actually doing this for me and for my life and for my career and everything else that goes with that, working and all of that. Like I'm doing all of this to just really live, right? Like I'm working 3 jobs so that I can make rent. I am also working those 3 jobs because I love those 3 jobs. So it's not like I'm working any place that I hate or not like, and I love all the work that I do. So that's also a plus. Like I feel so lucky to be able to say that now. Like, and I think that's why my brain has been going crazy, because I'm finally experiencing all these things that my body and my brain have been craving for so long. And like, it's just, this is it. Like I'm finally here, and that's what I feel. That's really what I feel. Oh my God. Like, did all of that make sense? I feel like everything I'm saying, I'm just rambling. But that's the point of this podcast, right? It's because my brain really just won't shut the hell up for the past like few days, honestly, and maybe the whole year. Honestly, let's be real. This is going to be a long one because I haven't sat here in so long and I have so many things to tell you. But I think we're running through, and I think I'm finding a pace. Am I? Okay, so that is on stability, consistency, and feeling purpose in your life. And it's funny because I feel like I sound kind of crazy, right? But I feel like all of this is the result of what I'm actually doing. Like, it's not just because I'm going to school. It's not just because I'm doing these things. Like, I'm actually doing the work to get to the mental state that I'm in right now, especially within the past month. Within this month of January, I feel like I've become a whole entire new version of myself, and I freaking love her. I love this version of myself. I've been trying to get here for so long, and I think I just needed to go through the stuff. Isn't that always what it is, though? It's really always what it is. So that brings me to morning routines, okay? I have always been a person who loves mornings, but lately in the past, like maybe year or so, or here and there within the past 2 years, like I've always like gone through periods of my life where I can't wake up for the life of me. Like I just don't want to be up. I don't want to wake up early. I want to sleep till 12 o'clock. I want to sleep till 1 p.m. Like, it doesn't matter if it's summer. It doesn't matter if it's winter. Like, I just like don't want to wake up. I think that has to do with your mental state, right? So when the new year hit, and you know what? I'm going to say it right now. New year, new me. We all love and hate that line. But you know why it is the line? Because it's freaking true. It is so true. What better time than to start a whole new thing for yourself than at the start of the new year? It doesn't always have to be at the start of the new year, but like, isn't that such wonderful motivation to just be like, oh yeah, it is a new year. What can I do? And it doesn't even have to be for the whole freaking year. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. Let's not get carried away. We know we're not going to do something for the whole 12 months of the year. But if you can start something new for like, I don't know, the first 30 days of the month, for the first 2 months, for the first 30 days of the year, for the first 2 months of the year, then like that's amazing. And then if you find out that it sticks, then you stick with it. If you find out that it doesn't stick and you want to try something else, then do that. But like, it's such a great time to start something for yourself. I feel like it's a whole new slate. It's a whole new time. Like, you just finished the year. Like, let's really think about that. We are really going into something new. Like, literally the year, and like mentally, you can also just step into a whole new world. A whole new, no, like seriously. God, I feel like I'm freaking crazy right now. But so, morning routines, as we were saying. I decided that this year, that this January at the start, I was going to start waking up early, right? I also decided that I was going to do the 30-day yoga journey with my freaking love, Yoga with Adrienne. Well, Adrienne. And her channel is Yoga with Adrienne, and I have been following her yoga journeys since 2017, and since then it has changed my life whenever I've done it, and I always know and I'm always reminded of how it makes me feel, it being yoga, it being Adrienne, like, and it being just the act of just doing that and taking care of your body and setting intentions and like taking the time to show up for yourself, because all of that has to do with that, right? So because I decided I was going to do this 30-day yoga journey at the start of January, and I know that like I was like leading up to starting school in the next half of January, I had to figure out what schedule was working for me and what I can do and where I can fit it in, because we got a lot going on here. And I decided that what better time to start it than the first thing you do in the morning. And I used to do it that way too. I used to do it at like 10 a.m. when I would wake up when I was living in Brooklyn. And let me tell you, when I was living in Philly, I barely did any yoga. I think I did yoga maybe 3 times when I was living in Philly. And I went to the gym a lot though in Philly, I will say. But gym is not like I liked being at the gym, but it's not really something that like I fully feel myself thriving in. That's like my thing. And I found my thing, and it's yoga. And morning routine has to do with that, because I now wake up at 6:30 a.m. every day. And I do yoga first thing in the morning, and I have created this sweet, sweet routine for myself in the morning that I treasure so much now. It's so crazy because literally last month I was still waking up so late, and and here to give you a better picture, I have work sometimes at 8 a.m. Ask me what time I wake up to leave, to get ready. I would wake up at like 7:20, 7:25, maybe even 7:30. And I would give myself 5-10 minutes, not even, to get ready and to get my ass out the door to get there at 8 o'clock and to be on for work at 8 a.m. That sounds miserable looking at it now. And like, I wasn't miserable, but like it wasn't the best version of me because I wasn't giving myself any time to do anything for myself in the morning, which is so sacred. And like, listen, if you're not a morning person, then you're not a morning person. But like, I've always known that I'm a morning person, but there are times when I forget, and it's because I'm in like a dark hole, and that's fine. And that's totally okay. But you just got to get out of it. And you got to work towards that. But waking up at 6:30 has changed my entire life. And I know we're only like at the end of January right now, but it's changed so much in me. And it's changed my mental state. It's changed everything. And I feel like that's why I feel like I'm on freaking cloud 9 right now, because I feel like a whole entire person. I feel like my brain chemistry has altered because of just doing this one thing. And just doing this one thing, that being waking up at 6:30 and following it with yoga and all of those other things that fall into my morning. Excuse me. All of those are basically under the umbrella of taking care of yourself. Or having time for yourself, which I feel like is such a hard thing for so many of us, because we're just thinking about so many other things. We just I don't know. I feel like if you're good at it, then great. That's freaking awesome. But I feel like it was so hard for me to do that. It's always so hard for me to do that when I have so many things going on. And what I want to get better at is still making time for myself amongst all the chaos in my life, like amongst work, school, and everything else, and just life in general. I still want to have that time for myself because I know and I see that it's good for me. And making time for yourself is probably the most special thing you can do for yourself. Showing up for yourself, as we all know, is so important, and it really changes the way I think you feel about yourself, and I think the way you present yourself and the way you feel about just everything, I think changes when you feel like you're your truest form. And like I wake up at 6:30 and I see the sunrise, and I'm doing yoga while the sun is rising. It's on its way up. And that symbolism right there is really beautiful to me, and I love doing it right with the window. I have a window right here, and the sunrise comes so perfectly right there, and it's such a treat. And right after I do my yoga, I make my breakfast, whatever I'm in the mood for, that being whether it is chia seed pudding or with some fruit, or some bagels with cream cheese and cucumbers and tomatoes sliced on top with some everything bagel seasoning. Like whatever it is, making a healthy breakfast for you, first of all, and just like making the time to eat. I think I was just not doing that at all. I would always just leave. I would just leave my house. I'd put on my clothes and I would leave my apartment to get to work. And I would be hungry for the rest of the day. And I would just, like, yeah, I was functioning and yeah, I was able to do my job, but was I really feeling my best? No. I was feeling the best that I could at that moment for myself, but I wasn't feeling like my truest best. And truly, it has been life-changing waking up at 6:30 and also starting the morning with like being active. I know that does so many things for your brain. It raises your serotonin levels. It raises your dopamine levels. It does things for your brain because you're waking it up. You're waking up your body. You're saying hello to all of these things that are going on in your brain and your body, and you're not just starting head on first. And we don't realize how important that is, but it's so freaking important. I don't care if I sound like a broken record right now. I am fully so in this that like it's everything in me. Oh man. Okay, let me take a sip of my matcha. So my friend Nat the other day asked me, or she shared with me after I shared that I've been waking up at 6:30, which was originally so hard for me to do prior to this, not even just freaking 1 month ago. She asked me if I have any tips for waking up early, waking up at 6:30, or just waking up early in general. And I think my biggest tip for that is finding something to look forward to in the morning. Finding something that fuels you to wake up in the morning. Like that, whether that being making your favorite beverage in the morning. Mine is matcha, and I just love being able to do that in the morning. It's also such a process and a nice like little ritual routine, and it's not just like a one and done kind of thing. I mean, if that's your process, then like that's also fine and cool. But I love the process of making my matcha, so that in itself just makes me excited to do that. And I also think that like everything that you do in the morning should be catering to yourself in some capacity, whether that's making breakfast, whether that's going to the gym, going to work out, going for a run, or I don't know, any of those things that involve catering to yourself and making that special time for yourself in the morning. I think that if you truly make it your me time, then that's when everything kind of like falls into place. Like when you make it your me time, you know that it's your time to freaking shine. And it's like so special for you to have for yourself, because it's so hard to create that time when you're like tired at the end of the day and you're just done. And for some people that's the only time that they have, and that's whatever works for you, right? Because that's what it is. You have to find what works for you. For me, I found that I just really needed something to look forward to. That was doing yoga. That was showing up for myself and being like, yeah, you're going to do this. And at any point, at no point did I feel like I was like forcing myself to do it. I mean, let's be real. There were some mornings where I was like, oh, I don't want to get up right now. But I know that I'm going to feel better after I do the yoga. So let's do it. And it was like always like a fight in my brain to do that like the first like few days or the first like week. But at the end of the day, or at the end of my yoga session, and while I was making breakfast, I could immediately feel the change in me. So I say that basically just find something that you look forward to. Looking forward to your mornings, I think, is a good way to look at it, because if you just wake up and you're dreading where you're going or dreading what you have to do, then like that's no fun. Who would want to wake up to that? Literally 2 months ago, I was like, I don't want it to be tomorrow. I don't want to, and that's because I was just like busy and stressed, and like I just didn't want it to be the next day because I didn't want to experience it. That sounds so sad. I promise I'm not that depressed, but like, you know, we go through phases, we go through things where like we just like don't want to do the shit. And right now, you know, like 5 months down the line, I could definitely be like that again. But right now in this moment, I feel very strongly about this whole thing. I haven't woken up at 6:30 for myself to have a whole ass morning routine before I actually start like the rest of my day. I haven't had that in years. Okay. I think I was doing that maybe in Brooklyn. I would wake up at like 8:30 and do yoga and then start the rest of my day. But like even that was like a little, it wasn't late, but it wasn't as early as 6:30, and 6:30 is pretty early. And you have to like sleep early in order to wake up early. So that's also what I've been trying to do. I'm not like sleeping at like 1 a.m. or something like that, because then how am I going to wake up at 6:30? And like, don't get me wrong. It's hard sometimes when you're tired. But let's be real again and know that like those extra 30 minutes of sleep, are they really going to make you feel better, or are they going to make you more sleepy? I believe it's going to make you more sleepy, only because that has happened to me so many times, and it just makes me want to stay in bed more. But if you actually just get up and like you realize that you want to be up, and you realize that, I don't know, and you're just up and you're doing it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm up, I'm ready. And that's basically how I feel. That's been my morning routines. I feel like I don't know how to hold this mic because this is the first time I'm actually using this. So don't mind me. I'm just being a little newbie at this. But yeah, so morning routines, they've been very special. And like looking forward to your morning is something that I think works. Finding something. It could be the tiniest thing ever. Finding something that you look forward to will wake you up in the morning. Trust. Like if you know that that's what you're going to do in the morning, you're like, hell yeah, I want to wake up. No, I don't want to stay in bed because I want to do that. Whatever that is, find that and do it. Mine is yoga, matcha, and making breakfast, and just like chilling with myself, literally just having me time. Because after I do all of that, I go to work for like 8 hours, and then I go to school for like another 3 hours, and then I like, you know, like, and then I go back home and I'm tired and I want to relax. And that is also a different kind of me time. But like the first thing that you do in the morning, I think is important. The first thing that you let your brain work on in the morning, I think is important. So if you're like just rushing to do something, that's not going to set you up for success. It's going to make you feel all like, ugh. And that's no fun. Come on. That's no fun. We all know it. We all know it. We all know it. I'm going to say like 2 more things. And then I'll shut the fuck up. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, that's on morning routines. Just like, it's fun when you get to have a morning. It's fun when you do that for yourself. And all that to say, showing up for yourself will make you feel 10 times better than you felt the other day when you didn't show up for yourself. And like, yes, you can skip a day. You can like, you know, things happen. Like life literally happens. But like if you find your thing, if you find your mojo, if you find the thing that sticks, then like stick with it. And that's what it really is. It's trial and error. Like if yoga was something that actually like wasn't working for me and I was like, it's fun, but like I don't really like the way it makes me feel. Like if that was how I felt about it, then I would find something else. I would have to find something else because obviously that's not working. So if something's not working, then you got to change it. And if something is working, then stick with it. And I think it's all about just like taking control of the things that you can actually control and just letting it take you along the ride with it. Like, ride that wave, baby. Like, seriously, just ride it. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Hey, yo. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm riding that wave because that's where I am right now. And you can be too if you want to. Like, it took so long for me to finally find this. Also, that's also that this, all of everything I'm saying is falling under the umbrella of consistency and stability and all of that stuff, because even this, like, I didn't have a morning routine in Philly ever. Maybe when I was working, I like found something, but it still wasn't like, it wasn't as good as this one. And I feel like this is the best one I've had in all of my 29 years of life. This is probably the best morning routine that I've ever created for myself. And it's been really nice. And it's been really sweet. Sorry, I feel like I've been yelling at you lately, and I don't know why I'm trying to talk so loud. But yeah. And I think it's allowing me to just be and really like set my intentions for myself and not let myself down, and like staying impeccable to your word, like for just even like for you, or whether that's to other people, like you find that that's so important, because if you tell yourself you're going to do this and that and this and that and this and that, and then you don't do it and you repeat that like for days, then you're gonna feel like shit because you're not honoring that. Or if you tell these people that you're going to do this, and you tell your friends you're going to do this and that, and then you're just not doing it, like you're just letting yourself down. You're not even letting them down. You're letting yourself down because you're the one who said that you're going to do it. We're getting sidetracked right now, but like, you know what I mean? Just like staying impeccable to your word, I think also falls under that. But on another note, let's see. I think the last thing I want to talk about is being a barista. I think right now my brain is like coming down because I've been just yelling at you for the past, I don't even know how long this is now. But the last thing I want to talk about that just falls under everything and everything that I've been doing, and why I feel the way I feel right now. Excuse me. I have recently become a barista. And it's so much fun. And like, I never thought I'd be a barista. I always thought baristas were so cool. Like, they're the coffee versions of bartenders, right? And I was a bartender in 2020 to 2021 when the pandemic hit, or when lockdown hit, and when I got furloughed and I needed a job after the whole thing. And being a bartender was something I also thought I would never be able to do because I'm clumsy and I like drop things, and I'm just like, I don't know, making drinks is intimidating. For other people, that's intimidating. But I did it and it was fun. Now, 4 years later, or 3 years later, I don't know math. What was I saying? Brain fart. Being a barista. Okay, being a barista has been my newfound love. This is something that I always wanted to do. That was always like a little dream of mine in my head that I never really like took action to do. Like, I was never like actively learning how to do it, but I would try to like apply for places to like be one when I was looking for a job, and they were like, do you have experience? And I'm like, no. And now I've been at this job for the past like 7 months, and that has now become something that has come to fruition. And it's been one of the most challenging things, I think. Not one of the most, but like something that is challenging. And it honors this creativity in me that I feel like has been waiting to come out for a while, and in a different way outside of music and videos and the podcast and like filming and editing, all those things. Like, it's way outside of that. It's actually making art, but in coffee, in freaking espressos and lattes, and like, I don't know, it's so cool. Art is just so cool. And to make art in freaking coffee is wild. And I know how to do that now. I'm learning how to do it. I'm not a perfect barista at all, but I'm learning and I'm doing my best, and it's so much freaking fun. I feel like I get to honor the creativity in me, and also like, I love a challenge. I love learning new things. Like, learning how to do that is like, you got to have this technique. You have to like really be, you have to know what you're doing. You can't just like wing it. And that to me has been really fun. It's been a really cool experience to just like be able to do that. And I'm like sitting there, I'm standing there like pouring the milk, steaming the milk, doing the espresso shot, like all of those things. And I found my groove, like especially last week, I was on a roll. I like found my routine. I had so many orders on the thing piling up on the pass, but I didn't get overwhelmed. And I feel like I usually get overwhelmed. And I was scared of that happening, like me getting so many orders and like all of that. But actually it was so much fun. And my manager and I actually, at one point, we had to make 10 drinks. I was already off the clock, but like I was back there making coffee for Liam, actually. I was making him a latte, and then they just got this crazy order that was 10 drinks. And I was like, oh my God. We were all like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm going to help you. And he was like, yeah, can you help me? Because it was a lot. And that was a true test to like what I can do. Like that was a true test to just like what I learned the entire like week that I was starting that. And like just, I don't know, I feel like it was a true test to see like where I was at in that. Not that I already didn't know like what I could do, but I think it was just an added thing to like seeing what I can do for myself, like just proving it to myself, like, yeah, you actually can do that. And that's the theme of today's podcast, right? That's the theme of today's podcast. Proving to yourself and only yourself that you can do the things that you say you're going to do, that you want to do, that you feel like is your thing. Like there's nobody else in the world that you have to prove it to but yourself. I think that's the moral of the story. That's the moral of today's cup of Joe with me. Oh my God, we've been talking for so long. I feel like we've just been rolling. But no, seriously, like, isn't that what it is? That's really what it is. You're here to do your thing. And like, you don't have to prove anything to anyone but yourself. And I think that can give you the craziest feeling of it all. When you're seeing yourself, it's like you're outside of your own body, like watching yourself do all these things. And you're like, wow, I can do that. I can do this. I'm doing it. Like, all of those things, like it's so empowering, and it's a mind trip. It's a crazy feeling when you just do the things that you do for you. I hate to sound so cheesy, but honestly, when things sound cheesy, that's when you know that it's true. So I don't really care, because I'm a cheesy person, and everything that I said is fully what I believe. And yeah, I think that's on that. We've been talking for so long, and I think that I've addressed mostly all the things I wanted to say. I want to keep talking because it's so fun talking into a mic. But let me see. I think that's it. 8 months. Oh, it's been 8 months. Oh my God, since we've spoken. That's crazy. All right. Well, I think I'm going to leave on that note. We're going to leave on my note of being a barista, but just like on the note of just challenging yourself and like literally new year, new me. Take that and do with it what you will and find your meaning for it. Everybody has something that they want to do. Everybody has something that they want to try. Try it. Now's the time. Like it's the perfect slate to do it. If you can, if you're able. If you can't, then like, find something smaller that you can try, or like, find something that actually works for you, and then just do what you can with what you find. And I think that's the best we can do for ourselves all the time. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. This was so much fun. I loved being back here. I loved talking and sharing all the crazy things that are going on in my brain with you. And thank you for listening to me just chat and chat and chat. I hope everything that I said resonated with you. Maybe even just a little, or if it didn't at all and you're just here to just chill, then like that's cool too. I'm here to chill too. But we'll talk more later. I feel like I still have so much I want to say, but I'm going to leave on that for now, and we can talk about more things later. Oh, wait. One thing I wanted to say was it takes 21 days to form a habit. So whatever you can do for 21 days that actually works and that you can stick to, then like find that. Whatever it is. It doesn't have to be yoga. It doesn't have to be working out. It doesn't have to be anything. Taking a pottery class, a kickboxing class, or something that you want to try for a day. You know, like, but I said 21 days to form a habit because I think that now that my body has been waking up at 6:30 every day, it's something that just like happens even on the weekends. Like I just can't control it. I want to sleep in. I'm like, oh, like it's the weekend, like let's sleep in. But my body's like, hello, wake up. And yeah, it's been a life-changing experience. It really has. It's been a life-changing experience. And like it is what it is. It's so important. So I'm gonna leave on that. I think I've been talking for so long. I've been talking for like an hour. Oh, anyway, let's do this again. It's so funny because my last episode, I was like, I think I'm not gonna have enough time to do this because I'm moving and blah 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 blah, blah. And I was right. I didn't have any time at all to do this at all. Now I kind of have a lighter schedule with school, which allows me to have more time with work and creative stuff that I can like put in my work and everything that I do. And I'm excited to do just that. So on that note, I will say my farewell. And I hope that you have a wonderful Monday. And let's meet back here in chat. I want to know what your favorite beverage is. I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what your new year, new me shit is. Like, what do you want to do? Everyone has something you want to do. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie and say, oh, there's nothing I really want to try right now. Like, come on. There's something you want to do. There's always something everybody wants to do. How big, no matter how big or small, you want to do it. So do it. Okay. I hate to sound like such a motivational speaker right now, but I feel like when I'm going through my epiphanies, that's what it sounds like, and I just can't control it. I can't help it. So, okay, how many times am I going to say goodbye? All right, I'm going to go now, but it was great catching up with you, and I hope you enjoyed all my little anecdotes of everything I talked about. I think it was all pretty chaotic, but, you know, bear with me. Bear with me. I'm like literally coming out of this epiphany in my brain that it just feels like I can't really be any way else. I can't be calm right now. Excuse me. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful Monday, and let's meet back here on Monday. Next Monday. Thank you for listening to A Cup of Matcha with Meg and Joe, and we shall meet back here next Monday. And let's catch up some more. Let's talk some ideas. Let's talk some everything. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Let me know. I'm here to talk about everything. Everything. Maybe not everything, but everything. You know what I mean? Okay. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so excited to be back. You don't even understand. As you can see, I'm feeling crazy. Okay? And we're going to roll with this for as long as we can because it's fun to be in this mental state right now. Okay? All right. Bye.